Chapter 7. Case S8L201. 30% strength hypnosis. Session number 5 allows the hypnotized person to express their thoughts freely. Start from the beginning and try to remember every detail. You said you were going to the mall to buy something. Start from the moment you stopped in the parking lot, said Stephen Haberly, one of the best hypnotists in the State University. I lock the car, and make sure the doors are locked one more time. I always do it, and I think it is a good habit. I go straight through the lot towards the mall. An older lady smiles at me and waves her hand. I do the same. I immediately feel elevated. I like attention. I'm trying to move through the lot as fast as possible, because it's a place where people can stop me and ask questions, which I don't want to answer, or don't have the answers I prepared in advance. A rush of wind blows in and refreshes me. Today, the sun is literally burning. The man standing at the very end of the lot also waves at me. He says that he voted for me and supports me. I raise my right thumb at him. I step inside the mall and notice an ice cream vendor on the left, standing next to a fake palm tree. I walk towards him. When he sees me, a smile appears on his face, but it is different. He is smiling genuinely, not like me. What kind of ice cream would you like, sir? I tell him that I would like strawberry-flavored double ice cream. The young man puts the ice cream in a waffle, gives it to me, and asks me for $5. I give him 10 and tell him to keep the change. He thanks me and I walk away, thinking that these $10 might have just given me 100 votes in the next election. He will probably tell this to everyone he meets. If he was also an alcoholic, then he could tell the story to fellow drinkers in bars. Thus, the story of my generous heart would spread throughout the city like a virus. I'm enjoying my ice cream and slowly walking around, looking at shop windows. But I am not really interested in any of those things. I look at them in an empty gaze. I feel the people staring at me as I pass by. I walk for a bit and see something that immediately causes an outbreak of anger and panic in me. It's them, those perverts. I think to myself. I bite my upper lip quite hard, trying to avoid screaming out loud. Sometimes I start screaming curse words while taking a shower. They come out of me like bullets. My wife was worried and told me to see a psychiatrist, but that would ruin my image as a successful politician. I explained that I am just under a lot of stress. I think she believed it. Since robotics has taken over the world, I, a fully organic and unmodified person, made of flesh, bones and blood, have to humiliate myself, and walk into that disgusting devil's shop. It's a place that has become a center of attraction in this part of the city. I go inside and I'm greeted by a flying drone, coming out of nowhere. It proclaims the store slogan and asks if it could assist me with anything. I tell it that I have just come here to look around. After receiving a negative answer, the drone flies away. Some say that the things in this store are the best that humanity has been able to create. But I don't care much about that, as I thought that the best thing that humanity had ever created was this strawberry ice cream in my hand. I was so glad I could experience its amazing taste. I'm proud for not giving in to that stupid trend and making modifications to my body. If I was, I would probably now be standing in line with an oil tank in my hand, like those fools with robotic limbs. I wonder if the men, who used to be normal, still have their cocks, or is something else placed there? I wouldn't be surprised if those morons had given up on real sex and exchanged it for virtual sex. If this is true, then science has truly won. My gaze turns to the selection of bionic legs. I feel disgusted to even look at this disrespect for humanity. Suddenly, I remember a movie I saw 5 years ago about one asshole. He wanted to improve himself by cutting off his real legs, in order to attach bionic ones. He thought it would help him move around without ever getting tired. In the film, he sees only the advantages. You can walk a few hundred miles without rest with just one charge, freely climb the mountains. What bullshit. Many years ago, if you lost a limb, it was a personal tragedy not only for you, but also for your entire family. I turn around and hear a small child asking his mother to buy him the latest generation bionic arm. Thank God that his parents still have a well-functioning brain. She tells him that he could change, even his head, but he still has to turn 18. But what else can you say to a child who is maybe only 10 years old and completely healthy? I'm sure that he's a fan of some pop music idol, who no longer looks like a normal person. I pretend not to hear the conversation and once again look at the store, crammed with ridiculous rubbish. Legs, arms, hands, various wires, chips, hinges, heads. Can a person now really change his head? I walk towards the shelf on which something that looks like motorcycle helmets are placed. I look at the price. $120,000. It's expensive, even for me. The consultant ended the session on that note, booking him in for the next day. Chapter 8. Session 2 began with Brider once more thinking he'd been hypnotized into thinking he'd gone into a store. "Hello, Mr. Brider, how are you?" said the consultant. "Nice to see you." It might be nice for him, but I almost had a heart attack when the store consultant extended his bionic hand, glowing in neon green. I shake his hand, surprised that it's not a typical cold robotic hand, but warm and covered in soft skin. I'm great, thank you. How are you? Wow, your hand really looks convincing. That's right, sir. If I was wearing a suit like yours, no one would even suspect that 60% of my body is made of iron and different wires. His eyes flashed in different colors, as if showing his positive emotions. Does this creature not even have its own eyes anymore? Could you tell me more about this helmet? Why is it so expensive? I asked him. Oh, this one? Well, this is a brand new model. We have received it just yesterday. Model S11L, a complete revolution in robotics. Haven't you heard about it yet? No, I haven't. You mohawked eyeless creature, I wonder if your hair is real or synthetic, like everything else in you, and why is your skin so shiny? Is it just painted tarpaulin? A skull removal operation is performed for someone who wishes to wear this helmet, he explains. It is made of the highest quality steel, which means it can easily withstand shocks that would crush a normal skull. It uses a new generation of synthetic cerebrospinal fluid, which surpasses conventional organic fluid in every way. The main advantage is that it can cool its user's brain. All of this allows you to increase your mental abilities to 90% and more. It looks like we'll have a smarter society soon. Exactly. Better engineers, programmers, scientists in various fields will create an even more advanced future for everyone. And a better army for us. Speaking about it, the eyes, the weakest part, would also have to be removed, sir. You see, even if you had better brain protection, you could be easily killed by a small pellet or a bullet that would crush your brain by passing through the eye. That's terrible. Ordinary police forces would be helpless against rioters with such advancements. They would have to use tanks, I say, but my joke doesn't seem amusing to the consultant. He pretended he didn't hear it. It also contains protection against various radiation. I don't care about all of this, because I only came here for better ratings. I tell him that if I am elected mayor, I will raise the issue of setting up the price compensation system in the council, because of the current high prices of bionic body parts. I thank him and say goodbye. I cast a quick look at the new bionic hearts when walking out of the store. I guess I will need one for myself in the future. I continue walking through the mall. I stop and stare at the pet store, putting the last bite of ice cream in my mouth. Something beeps in my head and I start to feel a little dizzy. It beeps again, but this time for much longer. I begin feeling feverish, so I loosen my tie. My body heat increases. I unbutton the top buttons on my shirt. A sound similar to the crackling of an old radio appears. It starts to beep again. It drives me crazy. I bend my knees and hold my head with my hands. I feel like I'm about to explode. I can feel my heart beating loudly. A wave of shivers sweeps through my body, accompanied by a slight electric shock. I stand up and look at my veins. They look swollen. I can feel my growing anger. The aggression takes over and I start shouting. I hate all of you. I will kill you all. I can hear a male voice in my head, ordering me to kill. Who does this voice belong to? The hypnotist asked. I don't know, he's the one making me do it, Brider said, shaking. The voice keeps repeating, kill, 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 kill. People stare at me in fright. I feel a huge rush of energy. I start running towards a young man, wearing a mechanic's outfit and holding a huge all-purpose key in his hands, a new one, still with a label. I pull the tool out of his hands and start hitting him with it. I smash his skull. He falls to the floor. I hit him again, and again. His head is completely crushed. The voice in my mind keeps telling me to kill. It beeps and chirps. I cannot hear anything else. I'm getting stronger and stronger. No one can stop me. People are screaming and trying their best to escape me. I start chasing a teenager. I strike him with the key and hit his right leg, just below the knee. An open fracture. He falls to the floor and tries to cover his head with his hands, but I keep beating him, over and over. Blood gushes from him in all directions. He's dead. I must keep on killing. I can hear the security guards asking me to surrender. It makes me even angrier. They come close and fire an electric shotgun at me. The key slips off my fingers. I can feel my muscles going into spasm, but I rip the wires away and grab one of them by the leg and throw him at the wall with all my strength. I see his head hitting the wall. He is no longer showing any signs of life. The madness in me grows even stronger. The voice in my head keeps repeating, kill, kill, kill. I turn around and notice another security guard about to run away. I grab his neck with my left hand and lift him into the air. I shove my right hand into his mouth and squeeze his lower jaw firmly. I pull it out with a sudden motion. A jet of blood gushes into my face. He is choking on his blood and screaming. I look at his jaw in my hand. People are still running towards the exit. I start screaming as loud as possible. I will kill all of you. Suddenly I hear a voice. Hey. I turn around and see that synthetic loser from the robotics store standing not far away. I drop the security guard on the floor, throw his jaw away and start running towards him. I raise my hand, trying to hit him, but he catches my fist, and starts crushing it with his steel hand. You're dead, terrorist, cries the consultant. I don't feel any pain. I raise my left arm. He catches my fist once again, and starts crushing it mercilessly. I am no longer able to clench my fists. The blood gushes from them. I feel a strong blow to my left leg. I can hear a sound of a breaking bone. I fall on the ground. I try to get up, but I can't. I still want to kill him. Suddenly, the creaking and beeping stops. The voice stops. My strength is fading away. I wake up in a hospital bed.